It's here.
It's October 27th, 2020, which means it is day 27 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 9. We only got 4 more days to Halloween. I cannot believe it. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This month has gone by so fast. I cannot believe it. And this week especially, because watching Tales from the Crypt has been a lot of fun, watching the first and last episodes of each season. But before I reveal which episodes I've watched from season 3 of Tales from the Crypt, I'm going to need you to leave a comment, like it, share it, hit the bell to stay notified, and especially hit subscribe, because doing all those things, especially leaving a like and sharing it, will help me get my channel and videos out there to a much broader audience. Hitting that bell will help you stay notified for any future videos I will be creating right here on this channel. And when you leave a comment down below, I want to read it, because what is your nostalgic memory from just your broad nostalgic memory of Tales from the Crypt, or which episode should I watch from season 3 of Tales from the Crypt? So I want to read them. I want to hear what you have to say, because I love doing all this, because we have a really strong horror community, because a lot of us are doing the 31 Days of Fright, like the 13th Wolfman, I Am the Ice Lord, Random Horror, Indie Film Cafe, Nightmare Maven, who else we got going on? Tony Has 9 Fingers, Double Shot J, Moods, who else? Just so many of us are having so much fun with this. I try to watch as many as I can, and just please go show some the support by doing the exact same thing you did for me. Just go into the search bar and type in the 31 Days of Halloween or horror. Mine is, I call it Fright. So we're all over the place, but we're essentially doing 31 videos in 31 days for the month of October. Now, with all that out of the way, the episodes I will be covering for this season, for season 3, is Love to Death. And for the 14th episode, it is called Yellow. Now, I'm going to be covering the first episode real quick and telling you what you need to know. It stars a Mariel Hemingway. She plays this actress who lives in this apartment, okay? But our main character is this expiring screenwriter from Indiana who becomes infatuated with her, because the episode starts off with this really fantasy-esque or 50s erotic novel kind of thing, because when it's like it's so cheesy, it really is. I'm like, there's something up about this, and like from the moment one, when the way she's dressed in like as a 50s housewife, and he comes home, but he's in more like modern clothes a little bit, like he stands out a little bit, and so it just kind of goes off the rails, and then it kind of reveals that he's writing a screenplay, and he's kind of based, the lead female character is, like I mentioned before, this fellow neighbor in this apartment complex. So he ends up trying to go on dates with her and have drinks, but she's just too obsessed with her career, and obviously she just has nothing to do with him. But this mysterious building manager kind of gives this guy a kind of a love potion, and he sneaks it into her drink, and then she becomes so infatuated with him, like they're constantly having sex, and it's getting to the point where he can't keep up, and he's gotten to the point where the only way to cure this problem is to kill her. And so the big twist of the episode is when he goes to kill her, the poison gets mixed up, he ends up drinking it, and she is, like I mentioned, so infatuated with him. She kills herself, and then in the afterlife, she kind of has like this really messed up face from when she hits the concrete, because they live up high on the one of the top floors of this apartment complex, and her face is kind of smushed in, and which has really great makeup, by the way. And now they're stuck together in the afterlife with her, like, we're still infatuated with him, and it's a really good episode. It was kind of fun. It had some cheesy moments. Just overall, it was a really good episode. I thought this was a very strong first episode for this season. And speaking of strong, the final episode, episode 14, entitled Yellow, was my favorite episode I've watched so far for this season, or this little Tales from the Crypt week, because it's entitled Yellow because it implies that someone is scared or being a coward, and it takes place during World War One, and on the front lines of World War One. It's like the episode is taking place during like the 49th day continuous battle, and this lieutenant decides, like, I'm tired, I don't want to die, we're not making any progress, so I'm going to order a retreat on his own, not with the generals, consent, basically, or orders, and he does it on his own. And it's throughout there, people are calling him Yellow because he's a coward and stuff like that, because the general is played by Kirk Douglas and the lieutenant is played by Eric Douglas. So it's a really awesome to see that a father and son acting off one another. Dan Aykroyd's in this episode, and as well as Lance Henriksen. Man, this episode is so good, because the acting from everybody from across the board, especially Dan Aykroyd playing in a drama role, which was really nice, because he really plays it straight. He's not playing for laughs. He's not doing nothing. He's there to be serious, and that was really awesome to see. I really liked that, and I wish he would do. I think he would have been pretty good as a drama actor, seeing him in this particular role. Kirk Douglas and Eric Douglas. There's a scene where he's kind of like Eric Douglas. He never wanted to be in the army. His dad basically forced him to be in this position, and the general, he takes his role very seriously, and he doesn't want to know that his son's a coward or yellow, and so it's just like he kind of like, you know what, fine, I will grant you a transfer if you do this one mission, because some communication lines went down. So we're going to send you in this little troop, or this little platoon, to go fix this broken communication wire. And then if you succeed in that, I'll send you off the front lines. So, and also in doing so, it proves that to the other man that you're not a coward or yellow, and that's kind of where this story kind of continues into a different realm of drama, because he takes this little platoon onto the front lines, and in doing so, he's supposed to be keeping out, like a lookout for the Germans and everything, and he fails to alert them. So this little platoon ends up getting killed, and he rushes back and says, "Oh my God! Like, they're all dead. I did everything I could. I shot as many as I could," and which comes into play in a minute. And so he's about to get his transfer when Lance Henriksen, he shows up, like he's a surviving member of the little platoon they went out to fix the wires. He's like, no, he didn't. He failed to alert us, all that good stuff. And so the general is like, is this like, let me see your revolver? And he's like, this has never been fired. So obviously, so he has to take the word of the dying man, which is Lance Henriksen. He's great in this as well, and so he's just forced to court-martial him essentially and put him on trial, and the resulting effect is that he's being executed by a firing squad. And this is where this episode gets even better, because there's a scene where Kirk Douglas and Eric Douglas, he's waiting on his waiting to be brought out to be shot, and Kirk Douglas is like, you know what, I can't kill my only son. I would never do that to you. So I'm gonna like get you all ready. So I'm the one who has to load the rifles. They're all gonna be blanks. When the guns go off, pretend to be dead. I'm gonna leave a little pack down there for you with like alternate ID, money, all that good stuff to get out of here. And this is where the episode keeps getting better. So when he gets brought out, it's a really intense sequence, especially when Kirk Douglas is loading up the rounds of each rifle of the firing squad, and this Eric Douglas, he's like, you know what, he's been a coward. It really does. He is definitely yellow, and so he's like all proud of himself, and he's given this quote from Shakespeare, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, it's the joke's on you guys. And so he's acting all high and mighty, and like he's going to, like, I'm coming out of this alive. And then just one glance at his dad looks off to the side right before the guns go off, and that's when he knew he's been had. And his dad, in fact, got him fulfilled his orders of him being executed, and then that was it. And the one shot of this whole episode that I thought I could have been left out is when it kind of zooms in on his metal flask, and it has like a quote on it, and it seemed kind of cheesy, but for Tales from the Crypt, it kind of worked pretty well. But then the final actual dialogue from the scenes between Kirk Douglas and Dan Aykroyd, he's like he wasn't yellow, like he died a man, and that's where the episode ends. And I'm like, that was so good. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, of the Back to the Future. This was a very good episode. Like, if you had any like misconceptions about Tales from the Crypt being really cheesy or anything like that, or just being like I said, kind of cheesy, this episode would prove you wrong. Like this, it opens up with this really grand battle scene in no man's land, and in the trenches and stuff like that. It felt like an episode or a little mini movie. That's exactly what it felt like, and it was great. It was fantastic. I know I went a little bit more onto this episode than episode 1 called Love to Death, but these are two very strong beginning and ending episodes to this season. So I may actually have to like kind of check out with the rest of the episodes on this season of Tales from the Crypt. So, man, I was really taken. I'm like, oh wow, Kirk Douglas is in this, and that was like when I was reading. I don't read anything going into these episodes, so like who I find out's in the episode is when I read the opening credits on the episode and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's like, oh wow. I'm like, I wonder how this episode's going to go. And this episode was so good. Love to Death. Episode 1 of the season was fun as well, because like there were two polar opposites. You got this really cheesy sex story, and then you got this really serious war story to end out the season. And I'm like, oh man, this was my favorite bookends that I've watched so far. I still got 4 more seasons to go, but it's going to be really tough to beat season 3's first and last episodes. So, with that out all the way, just wow, I can wait to continue, because the whole point of me doing it this way is I kind of wanted to see the progression of the episodes, maybe like the production value, which that final episode did, and then episode 1 even had some pretty good production value, just kind of showing this little small floor of this apartment complex, but it still felt like it didn't feel like a set or anything, so it was doing a really good job of that. And just this season, you can really see that they put some money into these episodes, and especially getting Kirk Douglas and Eric Douglas and Dan Aykroyd. I know, like, Robert Zemeckis and Walter Hill and Richard Donner and all, like, some big producers were behind the show, so that makes sense of being able to get some, like, bigger actors, and that's how you see some of these big actors in this show. So that's really all I gotta say. Season 3, wow! Those two first, I can't get over these 2 episodes that I've watched on this season. I was taken back by. I'm like, wow, these are good. So I know I kind of keep repeating myself there, but I was really shocked by it. So. And I don't think I've ever got to keep forgetting to mention the Crypt Keeper himself. His one-liners and the great animatronics that goes on to make him work, and the dialogue, and just like, wow. Like, because he introduces each episode, and I keep forgetting to mention him, and he's perfect. I just love it. I love his little zingers and stuff like that, and I love how the body is animatronic, but then you see like the hands doing this and kind of giving him some like more fluid motions, and to kind of make him more believable that he's actually there, and I love his little costumes, and like there is some like money being put into each episode. That's kind of what I was trying to really hammer home with this season when I watched Yellow, because this guy, he got his hand blown off, and you see it's just like, wow. And this guy was like getting launched into the air from a grenade, and the battlefield itself looks like it's been going on for 49 days straight. And so it's just, wow. If there's one season so far, if you should check out, it's this one, just due to the first and last episodes. So, that is all. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and as I always say, thank you.